In leg one of this two-game series, Albany at
Albany in a two-point conversion. Grady tosses. Cox.
Got it.
Great Carr.
now Tommy Grady in the high-powered Empire offense. Look to finish off the Valor in front of their home fans. Arvell Nelson accounted for 8 touchdowns last week, and the suddenly rejuvenated Valor has its eyes set on playoff glory. Valor Empire, a trip to ArenaBowl 31 on the line now. It's the best atmosphere in arena football. Albany's Times Union Center. The fan support has been there all year long. Rob Keefe will bring the energy as their head coach. And the Washington Valor feel like they can spring an upset. Well, look at last week. How about Albany with a 1-point win? It was dramatic in D.C. And then Baltimore advances to ArenaBowl 31 here on CBS next Saturday night. Hi, once again, everybody. It's great to have you with us. I'm John Mita-Perrell, joined by the AFL Hall of Famer, Sed Bonner. And Sed, you feel like you can play tonight because you're jacked up.
I really am. It's playoff atmosphere, great building. I've been in this building in some of the greatest playoff games ever. This place rocks. I'm excited for this one.
And our playoff format, it's unique in the new Arena Football League. What you need to know, aggregate scoring. You saw the first game, Albany with a 1-point win. Now, if Washington wins by 2 tonight, they'll advance on the aggregate score. Can you figure that formula out?
I can figure it out because it's easy. It's easy. It's a small number, so not a lot of math. Washington feels like they do have a chance to come in here and get a win. They're excited about this opportunity.
You saw last week's game. That was pulsating action. A lot going on there. Tommy Grady, arguably the MVP of the league.
He's done an outstanding job and kept it going right along with Arvell Nelson. These two guys were dueling back and forth the entire night, making the big plays. And once you got into overtime, Arvell stepped up one more time, hits Reggie Gray for his 4th touchdown on the night. But Tommy Grady to his man, Joe Hills in the back of the end zone, touchdown. They go for 2 and the win on the road. Greg Carr with the huge catch to seal the 57-56 win.
And a certainty in Arena Football League this year is Malachi Jones. He is simply uncoverable. The guy is unbelievable in the open field.
He really is. As a rookie, guy's done some amazing things. Receiver of the year. He's been so good at times that you wonder why you don't just feature him more and more. But you have Joe Hills on the other side. He's got speed, power, quickness. He can do it all. Great route runner. He is a special type of player in this league. This young man's come a long way.
That's a tremendous luxury from Albany. And Arvell Nelson has come on big time the last 4 or 5 weeks.
He really has. And this is a great thing for the Arena Football League. Arvell Nelson, 8 total touchdowns he was responsible for. 2 on the ground using his legs. And then he's got that howitzer of an arm. 6 through the air. No turnovers. That's a huge thing. No turnover for him. He's able to give his team a chance to win. That's what he looks for tonight.
So it is going to be a lot of fun. A trip to ArenaBowl 31. It's coming up next from Albany on CBS Sports Network. Moments away from kickoff at the Times Union Center. Great to have you with us on CBS Sports Network. Sed Bonner is here with me, John Mita-Perrell. Down on the field, the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Ari Wolf, with a special guest.
Thank you very much, John. Here with Arvell Nelson. All right, last week you showed you can play with these guys. You lose by 1. What is it going to take in their building tonight to get to ArenaBowl 31?
It's going to take execution. It's going to take taking what the defense give us and playing our game. We got to be perfect tonight, and we plan on doing it to get this win.
This team over the last few weeks has played with a certain confidence. You really seem to be gelling. What's been the difference?
Confidence. The boys are just more confident, man. They playing free. They playing loose. Man, a lot of these guys been in the Arena League for a long time, and they've been doing it on a high level for a long time, man. So these boys is loose and free, man, ready to ball out.
Have fun tonight.
Thank you.
Hey, guys. Hey, guys, I got to tell you something that's critical. Albany, you can feel that they feel that this is their moment. They're supposed to get the ArenaBowl. Washington came out here with a swagger like they own the building. Said it's going to be interesting to watch what happens early.
That's right, Ari. Where does the pressure lie when you think about it? It always lies on the number 1 seed.
That would be Albany.
You're at home.
Yeah.
Got a team playing
set,
free.
Of course, you know these like the back of your hand. Running clock until the last minute of each half. No punting allowed, no outside stunting or twisting. And the ball off the rebound net is live. You expect to see a lot of those tonight.
Yeah, a lot of bar balls. 2 good kickers that can get it done. We saw an outside stunt last night that cost Philadelphia on defense.
And Benji McDowell, the coach, the interim coach for the Washington Valor, said after their game last week, they left a lot of plays on the field. Bar balls, catches, drop balls. They have to clean up those types of things. Washington won the toss. They defer, so they will kick off. That means Albany on offense first in the bright orange jerseys. It's another orange alert at the Times Union Center. It's a great sight, isn't it?
It is a great sight.
We're the only guys in the building not wearing orange as Pat Clark tees it up. Off the net for Jordan Williams. He'll take it out past the 5. Big hole past the 10. Williams coming back inside and dropped at the 23. Nice job by Jordan Williams. They've been dicey off the net throughout the year. That's an area they want to improve upon.
It is, and they've gotten better. He's done a nice job getting better with his reps. Had 18 for 269 during the regular season. Had 4 returns last week for 45 yards.
And Tommy Grady was Mr. Consistency. How about those numbers? He owns the Valor. 971 yards, 25-1.
In 4 games. I mean, he's been extremely consistent. Got a ton of weapons. And the one thing you can't do with Tommy Grady is you cannot blow coverages in the secondary.
Malachi Jones in motion. Grady a deep drop, and it's incomplete. Got it for Jones. And the coverage by Fred Obi.
We talked about double moves that Baltimore runs, and right there, Albany comes out and runs a double move on the first play of the game, trying to get a free one. See Joe Hills, Malachi Jones, who was a target on that last one. Colin Taylor is the forgotten about guy, but he's a tremendous receiver on the backside. Michael Benson, threat out of the backfield. Mo Ruffins at the tight end spot. Ryan Cave, great center, has had a great season. And Hayworth Hicks, the old lineman of the year, has had a really good season protecting Tommy Grady.
Well, they love what Hicks has done, not only stabilizing the line, but the locker room. A little pressure from Washington. Grady wide open, touchdown. Joe Hills. Man, that was easy. 1, 2, 3, tic-tac-toe.
I mean, you just can't give him that time to throw the Poco route. This is a choice route. Watch Fred Obi on the backside of this, but look at the top. Tommy's able to just stand in there. Shows you why that offensive line has been so great all year. Gave up just 4 sacks on the season, and one of those was to the backup early in the year. Can't give Tommy Grady that kind of time. And Joe Hills running the choice route takes the corner for the easy one.
Kenny Spencer off the bar. Spencer 76 out of 90 this year in extra points. Joe Hills, there's a reason why he scored ho-hum 33 times during the season. Make it 34 with that beauty. Joe Hills celebrating another touchdown to give Albany the early lead as the Empire try to advance to ArenaBowl 31. If they do, it will be here at the Times Union Center in Seth Bonner, the Albany Stars. Their headliners, Grady, Jones, and Hills.
Yeah, the only team in the league with 2 guys over 1,000 yards receiving. They've been special all year long. I mean, everybody knows about Joe Hills, but Malachi has added that extra dimension to their offense. Speed, power, quickness. I mean, they complement each other very well.
And Malachi Jones has next level speed as Kenny Spencer will tee it off, aiming it towards the net, and Chris DeVault, second team All-Arena as a returner with a small seam, and he gets dragged down by Mr. Special Teams, Greg Carr of the Albany Empire. Carr has been fabulous on special teams.
He's been doing an outstanding job. Former Rookie of the Year, All-Arena player, has settled into a role as a leader. He's a captain of the team, we were told. Awesome for that young man.
So Arbel Nelson will get a shot for the Washington Valor. 61% in just 6 games, 27 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. That 7 interception number led the league.
He's learning a new offense, new offensive coordinator learning him, but the last good job of taking care of the ball and taking what the defense gives him.
He escapes trouble, scampers to the barrier before he's blitzed out of bounds by Derek Summers. And you love his escapability. One thing about Arvell Nelson, you know he can escape the pocket.
He can, and that right there is a great job by him to take care of the ball, go get 9 yards and get out of bounds. As you get a look at the starters, big play Reggie Gray had a big game last week, 4 touchdowns. Dangerfield's an up-and-comer, good size, and Reese, good route runner. Tafunga, Parker, Danzy, and Savage will have to do a good job of protecting Arvell if they want to move on.
And a quick flip and an upended tackle at the 18-yard line as Reese gets upended. Good tackle by Varmasoni. Varmasoni is a linchpin in the Albany secondary. The man you're looking at there, Terrence Moore, Defensive Player of the Year. We both feel that way. I know Ari Wolf shares that sentiment as well. But what an anchor up front with Joe Sykes, the Defensive Lineman of the Year.
Great player. Cisse adds punch up in the middle. Cato Bishop. They've got a great front. Summers and Moore, we talked about. Sony. Terrence Smith went out last week. We were all concerned about his health, but he's out there playing. And Mario Norman rounds out the cornerback spot out front.
How about Reggie Gray with some speed out of the backfield towards midfield before he's planted again by Varmasoni and the rangy Mario Norman. And Reggie Gray with 4 touchdowns, 101 career receptions in 12 games in the playoffs, 31 TDs, and he's a veteran player who knows how to play in the clutch.
And as he put it last week, I may have lost a step, but I understand my route running better. I know what I'm doing. Quickness is still there. He can still get in and out of his cuts. Still very talented.
Josh Reese will be in motion on 2nd and 3. Nelson with some time. Got it for Reese, incomplete. Too much air under the pass with Sony in coverage.
That's a great play call. Just missed.
With a flag down set.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 50. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Derek Summers, the guilty party. And the first down for the Valor. There were some changes in the Albany Empire lineup this week. Arthur Hobbs, a veteran, not with the team now. Also Brandon Stevens not on the roster. Another secondary guy that you got accustomed to seeing for Rob Keefe. He brought in Arkeith Brown, a 7th-year player out of Texas A&M.
Hobbs is a little banged up. His knee's been bothering him a little bit.
Oh boy, that was a dicey throw. Reggie Gray, the intended target. Arvell Nelson throwing in some traffic.
Well, he's just got to get the throw down and really take the read. What Mario Norman does here so well is he sits between 2 routes. He sits between the 2 routes, and the ball gets tipped, and once it gets tipped, Reggie has to go up right there on the edge. Cato Bishop's able to affect that throw, but Norman's sitting between him and the other receiver. Great job by him.
They have power forwards up front with Darryl Cato Bishop, Joe Sykes, Brandon Cisse. Those guys could start on the front line. 2nd and 10. Nelson just flings it out of bounds on a souvenir. Good catch by a fan in the 5th row. Good decision by Nelson.
It was. Michael Griffith letting them play, and if I'm a receiver, I know I got to bring my battle just like the DBs are trying to bring it to me. I got to go harder than they are. I love it if you're going to let the guys play. Let them play. They all know what it is. Get out there and get it done.
Yeah, we've talked about that throughout our broadcast on CBS Sports Network. We're all a fan of just letting these guys go. Don't let the officials dictate the flow of the action.
And I don't. If it's something egregious, you got to make the call. But I'm a firm believer in allowing those guys to let it play out on the field.
Nelson and batted away. Terrence Moore. Terrence Moore always seems to be in the right place at the right time. The Jack linebacker. He's gotten better every year. He started with Rob Keefe in Orlando, out of Troy, and he's grown into the role.
Well, he just reads right here. Watch, Arvell's eyes are going to go right to this spot. He wants to throw the corner out right there. And watch him slide over and read. Arvell's trying to throw one of those hole shots in the corner. You put a little touch on it, throw it up early, you might be able to get it in there. Now it brings up a early fourth down challenge.
This crowd is going to be juiced all night. They've been waiting for this moment. You were here in week 1. And it was cranked up then. It's been cranked up all year. On 4th and 10. Another deep drop. And McNeil, a walk-in. Touchdown, Washington. He had a tight window. Norman slow to close, and McNeil was the beneficiary.
And
20-yard
and this isn't even where the ball should have gone. The ball should have gone to Reese in motion right here, who pops wide open. But he's just going to work down inside. Watch him work his way down inside and get back to the corner. But look at this move by Reese up inside. I mean, he is wide open, and that he is all over that. Norman's all over that throw. And you want to talk about a guy concentrating and finishing a play? Great job by Doug McNeil III.
So Washington with Pat Clark adding the extra point to take the 7-6 lead. The feisty Valor, Arvell Nelson to Doug McNeil from 20 yards out. Tomorrow, CBS Sports Network is live from the Pacers Athletic Center in Indiana for the 2018 U.S. Open 8th grade championships. First at noon Eastern, the girls take the stage, and later the boys hit the hardwood for some of the best youth basketball in the nation, right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
I think that's our guy Brent Stover on the call.
Brent is everywhere.
He is, man.
Between the two of you guys.
I watched him do the Rugged Maniac X. He was killing it. It was awesome. Or, yeah, Tough Mudder X. Tough Mudder X.
See, Ari and I hear that, and we're like, no way. No chance, because that might mess up our lettuce.
It might make you get out there and work out or something.
Well, Brent should talk, too, man. He's better looking than both of us. Off the aggregate net, Jordan Williams trying to bring it out. Good special teams play by O'Shea Dunmore.
Solid play. Keith Brown couldn't stay with him. Talked about our Keith Brown being a guy that they signed as well. Multiple championships, our Keith Brown. In the AFL, different leagues, he is a winner at every turn he's ever been to.
As you see on our bottom line above the main score, 7-6 Washington, the two-game aggregate, it's all tied at 63.
See, you're using too many words for me right now. Just say it's tied. It's all tied up. Too many words. Words.
You could elevate.
Too many words.
I'm confident you could elevate.
Let's just, hey, we're all tied.
We're all tied. Okay.
Let's go.
Aggregate. Yeah, that's big. Grady in the end zone. And another souvenir.
Good
Trying
choice.
to go towards Colin Taylor.
Good choice. And Les wanted Malachi Jones to convert that route. They played a switch coverage, which meant the safety came down, flashed in front of the motion, and then ran to number 1, which is Malachi Jones. Malachi Jones, if he takes off, he's got leverage on that guy coming down. And that's what Coach Les Moss is trying to tell him there.
Number 24 in white, you just saw Savante Davenport, newcomer in the Washington Valor lineup from North Alabama.
Newcomer for the second time.
It all seems to come back, doesn't it?
Had an INT early in the year with it.
It's a boomerang. Joe Hills at the 15 trying to reverse field, and he made the wrong decision as he gets nailed in the Empire bench. Boy, the rangy Fred Obie coming off a terrific game.
Fred Obie.
10 tackles last week, the defensive player of the week.
Great stiff arm there, but Fred Obie, he's not going to let you take it easy going out of bounds. That's a great finish. Love the way he plays.
Fred Obie in his 4th year from San Diego. 17 tackles, 2 interceptions this year.
And has played multiple positions, not only the middle, but backside, front side. Came over from Baltimore earlier in the year.
Malachi Jones in motion. And Hills can't bring it down. Bit of the a high throw and ahead of Joe Hills with Obi in the neighborhood in coverage.
Look at his old teammate giving him the business down there. Alvin Ray Jackson. Not something you see often. 16 targets a week ago, 9 receptions. And he had a couple drops last week. And that's literally not something you see from him. He is as good as it gets when the ball touches his hands. They're bringing it in.
Thanks to his 29-yard touchdown earlier, 95 straight games with a touchdown reception. 95.
But only 9 in the playoffs. Or 10, excuse me. Oh, well.
In that case, throw
9,
it out.
Excuse me. This will be 10 if he gets one this game.
It's incredible. Pump fake by Grady. Looking. Open. Touchdown. Great play. Tommy Grady. Jordan Williams. Great side adjustment as well. He was wide open.
Well, again, it's a double move route that happens deep down the field. They're taking advantage of his speed. He had 1 reception for 1 touchdown for 25 yards. So obviously he's a deep threat. Watch him stutter and then take off again. And look at the time for Tommy Grady in the pocket. 36-yard strike. Look at this. He just kind of stands around. Kind of gets leg whipped there at the end. But, I mean, man, I think I could still play if I had that kind of time. That looked like some fun back there.
Definitely think
Stand
you
there
could.
And see it. Get a good look at it like that. That was beautiful.
Kenny Spencer tacks on the extra point. You heard Seb mention second catch of the year. He's got 2 touchdowns, 36-yard strike, and the Empire lead by 6. Jordan Williams, 36-yard touchdown catch, and he has 2 catches for 61 yards, combined 2 touchdowns. The rookie, former defensive back, said before he transferred from Liberty University to go to Edinburgh.
Speed with that kind of size, the kid can flat out run.
Yep.
Flat out run. And they're
athleticism.
Trying to find ways to get him involved, and anytime you could change a game with that kind of speed.
Kenny Spencer towards the net for Chris Duval, who's dangerous. 1 step, but he stumbles and hit at the 4. That's Wes Mawia on the stop, who was just brought back to the active roster. You're a big fan of his play.
I am. Wes did a nice job for them early in the season. 4 tackles, half sack, forced fumble. But started the season as the starting fullback for this team until the great Michael Benson showed up.
You got a Kansas State moment.
I had a Kansas State flashback.
That's Stover's alma mater. Arvell Nelson sending Josh Reese in motion, looking for Reese, and he's got him. Pushed down by Varmasoni. Crossing route to the 17. Reese accelerates, doesn't he?
He did, with a little bit of a help of a push right there. I thought that was going to be a major collision as he catches a quick sail-in route.
13-yard gain for Arvell Nelson and Reese. This time he'll send Reggie Gray as the man in high motion. And boy, great defense by Varmasoni on Jared Dangerfield. The ball came out. They say that Dangerfield brought it down. Varmasoni always fighting for loose balls.
That's a good cleanup job by Terrence Moore. And if you just got to be patient if you're Arvell. You see, he still had some time, and he doesn't see the switch. And he's down there. He doesn't see the switch by the DBs there. Gets kind of fooled. He's lucky that Sony didn't pick that off.
To the near side for Dangerfield, and hit by Mario Norman past midfield. Jared Dangerfield, good target at 6'3", 205 from Western Kentucky. 35 catches, 4 touchdowns, had 3 and a touchdown last week.
He's another guy that's coming along. And Shane Stafford says that all these guys are really working hard trying to improve, trying to get better.
Final play of the first quarter. Nifty move by Nelson, and Josh Reese hit hard at the barrier, but inside the 10. Washington showing some signs of life late in the quarter after the touchdown from Doug McNeil. Albany got one from Joe Hills and Jordan Williams. The aggregate, Albany up by 7 at the end of 1.
Welcome back to Albany, getting set for the second quarter, and we have a little history lesson for you. Back on August 5th of 2000 was the last playoff game played in this building, and Sid and I have a connection because Sid's Arizona Rattlers came in here, beat the Albany Firebirds 53-50. So the Rattlers went on. The Firebirds never played another game in this building. Now the Empire's here. It was a night that broke my heart. Another time that Sid got a win.
Oh boy, Ari, that is tough to handle.
Also got a loss. I mean, late in that game, tore my knee up and then wasn't able to play against Orlando the next week. They would go on and win the title. That was hard to watch.
Well, you put up some numbers, though. 6 touchdowns and 254 yards. Arvell Nelson to start the second quarter, lofted for the end zone, and flags everywhere as Chris Duvall was the intended receiver. And he went down in the end zone.
And they want to know where the
Pass
hold is.
interference, defense, number 5. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
They want to know where the hold is, but I believe it's going to be right here on the hug. Watch the hug. I mean, you're impeding and holding. You got to make that call.
All right, that's a no-brainer. That's, hey, nice to meet you. Want a hug?
However, I'm telling my receiver right now, I'm not feeling sorry for him. I'm like, stay on your feet, go catch the ball. Finish the play. I don't want penalties. I want touchdowns.
Yeah, good point. Play through the echo of the whistle, as they used to tell you, right? Nelson trying to spin towards pay dirt. Ball. And a great stand by the Albany defense. Terrence Smith shot through. Good penetration as well by Varma Sony and Terrence Moore.
During the regular season, these guys just gave up 16 yards rushing a game. They were tough to deal with, but gave up 24 last week.
Empire offense, 261 yards a game, average 54 points. This defense, 18 sacks, 25 tackles for loss, both first in the league. Nelson to the end zone, over the top. Did he bring it down? Yes, he did. Touchdown, miraculously, by Washington's Doug McNeil on his way to a great night.
Let's go. Out of here.
That is simply incredible.
It was on the call. You don't have to get any feet on the ground. You can go up and make the catch. And on the call this week, talking to Arvell, the guy that he talked about, they wanted to get involved, was Doug McNeil III. And look at that catch. That's a great job of concentrating. I mean, you got ladders flying around over there. He's coming up with the catch. Great job.
He's got Mario Norman pushing him, and another miss.
Laces out.
Pat Clark with the miss for the Valor. So the game is tied and coming right at you in your living room. Look out, it's Doug McNeil with a score. Wednesday morning at 10 Eastern. Join CBS Sports Network on the Diamond as some of the top teams from around the country compete in the National Youth Baseball Championships, only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports Network. It's 13-13, 70-70 on the aggregate score. With Seb Bonner, I'm John Mita Perrell, as Pat Clark will get set to tee it up to Jordan Williams with 12:56 remaining in the first half. Clark moments ago missing on the extra point try. Those will rear their ugly head down the stretch, said. Left-hander. Williams off the net. Oh boy, Jordan Williams, good move. And then hogtied
by Pat Clark. Left-hander or left-footer, whatever you want to call him, Lee. He's got a strong leg.
That was a Yogi Berra moment. Oh boy, and we're going to have a special guest coming up as Ari Wolf will search for some cover downstairs as he chases Les Moss, the offensive coordinator for the Albany Empire. And one of the great features of our broadcast, you get to hear from the coaches, make the calls. It's all access on Arena Football and CBS Sports Network. And Ari Wolf down there with Les. What do you have?
Les just showed me Tommy's coming out here. He's got the first play calls. I asked Les, I said, you know what it is? He said, no. This is all Tommy.
All right, we'll see what happens. Grady down the middle for Hills, and it's broken up by Fred Obie. So Obie continuing to feast in the middle of the field.
As a receiver, you never want to catch the ball at your feet still. As you come out of your break, you got to turn and attack. Joe knows that. He waits on the ball and allows Fred to get back and get his hands in on the play.
Hey, guys, Tommy limped over here a little bit. He's moving his right leg around a little bit. It seems like he's going to be okay. He's standing in there. Let's get the play call. What do we got, Coach?
We got to run play. We're going to run Benson on this.
They're going to go to the big fella, guys.
Michael Benson, one of the top fullbacks in Arena Football League history. Thunderous, number 9 in orange, with Malachi Jones in motion. And a give to Benson, right up the gut. Good pursuit by the Valor defense, led by Lanford Collins, a D lineman from Virginia Tech.
Good news. Tommy did not limp coming over this time. All right, Coach. Oh, he's got it. Tommy's call.
You loved it when they put it into your hands, right?
Absolutely. Now, if I needed a moment to collect my thoughts, I'd be okay getting the call from the coach.
Hills in motion this time. Brady. And he's got Malachi Jones past midfield. Jones. Touchdown, Albany. The electrifying Malachi Jones is a reason he was receiver of the year. 37 yards and a cloud of dust.
And this is a delay slant route, beautifully run. Good call. Watch him circle right in behind the jack. He goes and waits on the wall, then comes in and right at the right time. And that's just too much space on the field to get a guy like that with the ball in his hands. Beautiful throw and catch. And the finish by the rookie phenom.
30 touchdowns for Malachi Jones through the air, 5 on the ground. Les Moss knows how to dial up his number. Helped on the offensive side by Chris Thompson, the coach on Rob Keefe's staff. Bradley Brunette alerting the fans on sportsmanlike conduct on Joe Hills after the touchdown.
It's playoffs. They're getting chippy. Guys are trying to get after each other, and he might have backed them up so they could try to take a run at this thing, knowing that Kenny Spencer's had some struggles with extra points as well.
Yeah, this is a long-range extra point for Kenny Spencer. And it's off the bar. Two misses for Kenny Spencer. Will that be a problem? This wasn't. Malachi Jones, just fantastic in the open field. Albany with a 19-13 lead over Washington. Just under 10 minutes to play in the first half. And ArenaBowl 31, where will it be? Well, if Albany wins, they will host at Times Union Center tomorrow, or Saturday rather, on CBS Sports Network at 7 o'clock. And can't wait to bring you that one. The 2-seed Baltimore waits after beating up on Philadelphia 110-86 with the combined scores. That man Benji McDowell and his Washington Valor trying to spring an upset. I think he's done an admirable job since he's replaced Dean Kokinos. And trying the low bar this time. Chris Duvall's got it. And he's hit at the 5 by Terrence Moore. Also there was Jordan Williams, who's been a ubiquitous presence thus far.
Okay, now you're going too far. Now you're going too far. Slow it down with the big words.
You know, I think you could carry me with aggregate, couldn't you?
Look at the big brain on meat.
Well, we got another big brain downstairs, Ari Wolf and Shane Stafford.
All right, Coach, what do we got?
Basically looking, we're trying to get out of here inside the 5 so we can open our offense up. So I'm not really sure what he called, but hopefully he called the right play. I'm just kidding. I know what he called.
Oh, he's very entertaining, guys. Very loose OC down here.
Hey, Arvell Nelson was 5 for 5 on the last drive, going deep. Got his man inside the 10. What a pass by Arvell Nelson. Dropped on a dime to a streaking Doug McNeil, and Doug McNeil has been a thorn in the Empire's side.
Right here, watch this guy peeking in the backfield. He wants to jump that middle route right there. Watch Arvell sit back on his back foot and deliver. Knows he's going to take a shot. Great ball on the outside edge. Doug McNeil is balling.
What do we got?
We're going to put one of our guys in motion, and we're going to go ahead and let him read it. He's either going to sit it down or he's going to run across.
So it's going to be Duval on the sit down or the cross. Sit down will be right in front of the end zone.
As he comes in motion, Nelson trying to escape trouble. He does for a moment. And now he gets dragged down. Derek Summers leading the charge with Terrence Moore. 39-yard gain for Doug McNeil. Already has a couple touchdowns, and you said earlier, talked to Arvell Nelson this week, he was targeting Doug McNeil.
Yeah, he wanted to get him involved in it. You know, on that last play, when you give a guy a choice, you can't try to go all the way around him. You got to cross his face, fight across his face, set your motion up a little better, fight across his face, and get to the other side of the field.
Reggie backside on a whip, so if the fade's not there, we're going to hit Reggie on the whip.
All right, they're looking for Doug on the fade, guys. That's the primary option here. Looking for 18 in motion.
And then back to that on the backside if it doesn't work.
Nelson, end zone, flags. McNeil was the target, but he was double teamed. And I rate Rob Keefe is on the field as Varmasoni awaits the call.
10 at the distance of the goal, first down.
Right here.
Reggie Gray out of the game right now. They get their jumbo package in here, guys.
Yeah, he's grabbing that right shoulder. That's a good call.
Clearly,
all right, Coach, what are we doing here?
All right, we're going 11 wedge here. What we're going to do is we're going to give him the same motion, but we're going to go ahead and run a wedge.
That's Shane Stafford, offensive coordinator for the Valor.
Let's go,
The commissioner, Jimmy Gordon, on the wedge, or quarterback wedge.
And here we go with the push. Just enough for the touchdown. Washington right up the middle. Arvell Nelson gets a hug from his offensive lineman. And the Valor continue to stun the Empire.
Well, they saw what happened last year. I don't know if it's a stun, but it's just a power play. Jimmy Gordon going to come push from the backside. You got a 230-pound quarterback. You got a lot of beef in there pushing downhill, including James Atoye.
Big extra point try by Clark, who missed his last one. This one is perfect. And Washington grabs the lead, 20-19, with 6:16 remaining in the first half. Forget about the Reggie Bush push. It's the Arvell Nelson push. Touchdown, Valor. Arvell Nelson has been terrific for the Washington Valor. 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also moments ago, 1 on the ground. And that's why they have the lead, 20-19. And how about the Val quarterback carousel said? Shane Austin, Warren Smith, Nick Davila, horrendous injury, and certainly that was quite a blow.
really was. Trying to find the next guy. Shane Austin, a good player, played a couple great games for Philly. But Arvell has kind of found his way with Coach Stafford, Shane Stafford. You see he's charismatic, he's loose, keeps it fun for the guys. They're learning. He's done an outstanding job of getting this team to believe in what he's doing. And Arvell's just kind of flourishing right now in what he's doing.
He is one of the classics in arena football who just thoroughly enjoys playing the game. Every time he goes out there. Yeah, every time he goes out there, you can tell he's having fun. Off the slack net, Jordan Williams. And he'll just go the easy route. There was no room at all in the end. The aggregate, says favorite word, is tied at 76. Albany and Washington vying for a spot in ArenaBowl 31. Next Saturday night at 7 on CBS Sports Network. Tommy Grady, over 80 touchdown passes, 6'7", 245. He's composed, and the synergy with Les Moss is a sight to behold.
Well, they've worked well together. In Jacksonville, had a lot of the players on this team. Mo Ruffins, Joe Hills, a lot of those guys were in Jacksonville, and that was a talented group as well.
And just a flip to Malachi Jones. Another dance move to avoid trouble, but he's hit at the wall. Rangy tackle made by the Valor. It was Zach Bullock laying the thunder.
That's good hustle play from a defensive end position, and it almost looked like that was going to be a fake screen because Joe Hills came out and set his block up so early. It looked like they were trying to bait him to come downhill to throw over the top.
That's a good troika there, and Belton, Davenport, and Obi. Tracy Belton, former defensive back in the league of the year.
It's all for the secondaries in the league. It's all about communicating. If you can communicate, you can solve a ton of problems. They got to be on the same page and communicate.
Up the middle to Michael Benson to the 10. Michael Benson. He might be big, but he's light in his feet. The career numbers are staggering. 114 touchdowns, third all time, and 599 carries said, so he can handle the rock in a steady production level.
He can, and he can catch it out of the backfield as well. He's got good hands, multiple championships with Arizona, and then you got with Philadelphia as well. He's a guy that's been around a long time.
Washington certainly not playing a team that's lost to the Albany Empire 5 times this year.
Well, they seem to be unafraid or unaware that they should be losing.
Toss sweep on 3rd and short. They go to Benson again. I think he's shy of it. That's a good tackle by Alvin Ray Jackson, who played with the Storm last season. Alvin Ray Jackson, 21 tackles, a forced fumble in his 9th year from Albany State.
Another guy that was part of that Jacksonville team. He's had some taste of success. He's gone to multiple Arena Bowls. Still trying to get it. Solid Jack. I tell you, all the three out of the 4 Jacks in this league right now are big time players.
This is a huge play. Jumbo package in for Albany. Michael Benson.
Short.
Wow. What a defensive stand by Washington. Lanford Collins deserves to celebrate. Said they have momentum.
Listen, it's too early to talk about momentum, but watch the slide and watch Otoye blow it up. And this is an offensive lineman, folks. So he's taking it back old school, two-way playing. Look at 70 all over it.
That's 375 pounds.
6'7". I stood next to him in the elevator, and I was like, man, I'm getting cold in here. Like a shadow came over me. It was huge. Biggest dude ever.
He blocked.
Hey, guys, it started when they came out on the field right before the national anthem, and it started with Arvell Nelson. This team believes they can win, and this bench has been electrified all night. I'm telling you, the Valor think they can stun the world tonight.
Yeah, you called it earlier, Ari. Quiet confidence in the backfield. Josh Reese, and he gets stifled. Good read by Terrence Smith.
Half-yard gain, but it's just something else to make him look at. Now you're going to run that motion and send your 2 guys deep, one across the field, one to the back of the end zone. Watch for that later on. But you want to force these guys to look at a bunch of different things. Rob Keefe's been known to have that defense that's a bend but don't break defense. They're going to play a lot of zone and force you to run a ton of plays and force you to make mistakes.
Yeah, first in a lot of categories, including fumble recoveries, 11 interceptions, and turnover margin. Plus 12 for the Empire. Nelson with some pressure and a drop at the 3 by Reggie Gray.
He might have caught it. I think it went through his legs.
He says, take a look. Initial call was incomplete.
Great throw, it wobbles between his feet, and it's between his shins. And I don't know if there's going to be enough to change it, but it's between his shins.
We are at the 1-minute warning. We're to sort it out on the other side with Washington leading Albany 20-19, and the aggregate tied at 76. A good one on CBS Sports Network. Benji McDowell, the interim coach for the Washington Valor, waiting patiently with the red challenge flag in his hand. And it was going to be a tough call either way. And as we take another look, did the ball hit the ground? Can they change this? Is it conclusive enough?
Absolutely not. You can't change it, because even though he squeezed it between his legs and it touches, you can't tell at what point he had control between his legs and the ball, because it does touch the ground.
And he thinks better of it, so they will keep it as an incompletion. That snaps a string of 7 straight completions for Arvell Nelson. With some time to the end zone, and a flag as the intended receiver Doug McNeil went down, and Varmasoni tried to come up with a ball in the party section of the end zone. Will it be a flag on Varmasoni? It would be his 2nd of the night.
Pass interference, defense, number 10. At the distance to goal, first down.
This is a battle. This is a good scrap. He's holding his ground. Not much. He runs to the spot that he's going to. He beats him to that spot and turns around.
Negligible, but a penalty nonetheless.
Hey, Sid, guys, I'm thinking here they're not trying to score. They want to at least force Albany to use their timeouts. If not, they want to take this down as far as possible and give Albany no time to work with.
You're absolutely right. And they get the ball to start the second half, Ari Wolf.
And coming up at halftime, we'll recap Philadelphia and Baltimore and highlights and stats. Baltimore advancing to ArenaBowl 31.
Head coach, at the distance to goal, first down.
And right now, you just got to compose yourself. Compose yourself. A call was made that you don't like. Compose yourself and get on to the next play. As bad as it may be, whatever you think, like it or don't like it, compose yourself. Get to the next play.
Yeah, that is essential. You got to move on. Not much you can do about it.
Now, once it's done, it's done.
There's
and
no
again,
jury.
And guys, keep in mind, now it's first down. Again, he should just not get into the end zone. Albany's already down to 2 timeouts. They can milk this clock.
Nelson takes a seat following Ari's charge. It makes the most sense to drain the clock.
Or try to. Quick timeout. They're being second down right now. Force them to burn their last one here.
So the timeout for the Empire. Our game trends coming up with penalties. Albany 5-0, and the combined miss 3 extra points. Remember those as we move down the stretch in the second half.
Those are big, and they've been able to accept those from Kenny Spencer because he's typically gotten a few bar balls throughout the game that they've been able to recover. He hasn't been able to help them out in that area tonight yet, or to this point, but look for some of those, and I still think you don't score here. You got another 2 downs. Don't take shots, just take a knee.
Yeah, he took one there, but Joe Sykes made him pay for it.
Right.
That's the first time we've said the name Joe Sykes tonight. So another Albany timeout with 44.6 seconds remaining in the first half. Last Albany timeout said, take us through the progression now for Washington on offense.
Well, if you're Washington, I might even try to take this down, one more running play and score after that. I'm not going to score right here. You're leaving them with too much time. I don't care if they have no timeouts. You got a veteran quarterback that understands how to run it. I might go one more play and let the clock run all the way down and use one of my timeouts to try to score on 4th down. Because I do get the ball coming out to start the second half. I don't want them to see it again.
No, that would make the most sense. Nelson takes the knee to bring up 4th and goal.
Now you let it run all the way down.
Why isn't the clock running, guys?
There
we go. The clock was stopped.
Put your hand on the buzzer, Ari.
And they can take this down as far as they want, guys. They can take it down in 1 second, run one play, and take their chances.
That's what I would do, Ari. I'd go one play, make or break for the end of the half. And it's so important to try to score last at the end of both halves.
It's the old Belichick theory, double scores.
Absolutely, and then you come out to start the second half with possession. And they've run the wedge play here. They're in that vicinity.
So now they take the timeout as they should with 3.3 remaining, and Arvell Nelson can certainly operate easily over with a block. He can find his way to the end zone better than most quarterbacks in the league.
He's strong, he's athletic, strong, he's big. And, you know, when you got that kind of power, and this is a good offensive line. They've had some struggles kind of going through learning this offense, but Anthony Parker, Danzy, Deontay Savage, these guys have gotten better. Toye's in the game now as well. They've got the bigs in the game. So they've gotten continuously better as they've learned, and this offense has evolved from where they started.
Check out Otoye and Parker combined. Otoye 375, Parker 380.
He's a tight end with 2 receptions for 20 yards.
James Gordon also in the backfield. On 4th and goal, Nelson trying to find his way in. And they say he broke the line. Touchdown, Valor. Arvell Nelson, 2nd rushing score of the half. With no time remaining.
Well, that's a great job by Shane Stafford and Benjamin Dowd.
That took 2:47 set off the clock.
And that's a great job to finish the half. And going with points.
And for the first time all night, we've heard silence in the Times Union Center. Relative silence. Pat Clark with a big PAT attempt. Warren Smith is the holder, backup quarterback. That snap, and it goes off the bar.
That's not bad enough to miss. Just take your time and hit it.
So a nightmarish half for kickers. And Washington holding with a 7-point lead at halftime. And Ari Wolf is downstairs with Arvell Nelson.
All right, Arvell, you came in, you felt like you guys could do this. What was the key at the end of the first half with the clock management to put you guys ahead?
The key was that pass interference. You got a new set of downs, and we was able to run the clock down and make them use all their timeouts. It worked out in our favor. That was great execution by our coaches.
Now, your style of leadership is so up-tempo, so positive, it seems that the whole bench really believes you guys can win tonight.
Oh, yeah. So I told you since day one, when I walked in, it was a whole different energy, man. Those guys believe. I seen it in their eyes, man, and we're going to shock the world tonight.
All right, good luck in the second half.
Hey, baby, appreciate it.
All right, guys, he's a very confident quarterback.
All right, Ari, yes, he is. 4 combined touchdowns for Arvell Nelson. Have to love his enthusiasm. Will it hold on in the second half? We'll come back to find out, as it's been a good one at the Times Union Center. They're flexing their muscles. Malachi Jones had a touchdown, but Washington leads by 7. Washington with a 26-19 lead as we get set for the start of the second half. From Times Union Center, John Mita-Perrell along with the AFL Hall of Famer Sed Bonner. Ari Wolf is on the field for us, doing a tremendous job. And you're not surprised, Sed, that Washington is more than in this game. You saw them last week, and they were feisty then. Ari Wolf has Rob Keefe.
Come on! Hey, all right, Coach. All right, hold on. Just give me 1 second. He's got to tell his team something, guys. He's pretty fired up, I can tell you that right now. And I'll get him right here. He's just giving them final instructions for the opening kick to start the third quarter. They got 30 minutes between now and the ArenaBowl. All right, here we go. Hey, Coach, what was your message at halftime?
Well, my message is this. If we have to play against the officials in Washington, we'll do it too. We messed that up. We managed it. We got to keep ourselves composed, myself included. Hey, we're one stop away from getting back in this thing. It's arena football, but we got to play smart.
Okay, thanks, Coach. All right, John, take it away.
All right, thanks, Ari. There's no doubt he's always energetic, but got ahead of him a little bit with a penalty in the first half, and he'll have to avoid that. As he mentioned, he has to be more composed in the second half set.
Yeah, I think just settle down and play your game. I think, you know, 4th down and.
So some English on the liner.
Once it hits the wall, it's over.
Right, but still an interesting strategy there by Kenny Spencer. It'll be Washington ball trying for the double score to begin the second half. And Benji McDowell 2 quarters away from moving on to ArenaBowl 31, where Baltimore awaits.
And listen, great job here by this offense, just executing, and you got to give Shane Stafford so much credit because he's brought in the energy, the passion, and the will to work offensively, and they bought into it.
Short drop, wide open. Doug McNeil in the stiff arm. McNeil still on his feet. Finally hit down at the 16, but Doug McNeil has exerted his will throughout the game. Finally dragged down by Mario Norman and Varmasoni, but he's exhorting everybody because he's got so much confidence. A 19-yard gain.
But good read. He gets it out quick on the hitch route. But look at that stiff arm. Get off me. And for anybody that's ever played against a team that released them or didn't want them anymore, you know what kind of feeling he has right now. He's trying to get after Albany.
That's called redemption. The McNeil Redemption Tour. First down, Valor. Screen, Josh Reese to the 9. Tackle by Mario Norman. Washington receivers gaining confidence. Arvell Nelson gaining confidence. Despite 2 wins, they're a dangerous team.
Well, they're talented, and you got a quarterback that adds a different element when he's in the ball game.
Six yards, 2nd and 4. Chris Duvall in motion, going for Duvall in the corner. Oh boy. Runs into the barrier with Mario Norman trailing him and Varmasoni playing center field.
And Norman baits him into this throw. He should have dropped this down. Norman is open and he runs straight back. Watch him help. Look how deep he is, and he goes straight back there. You got to see that. I mean, he is a guy that reads as well as anybody from that field corner position and baits you into giving him one.
Third down, Nelson scans the field. And it's a fight for the ball. Chris Duvall, they got it, maybe. Albany's got it.
It's an INT.
You got it. Albany comes up with it as Duvall was trying to scrum for it himself, but Albany wins it. Terrence Smith is the lucky man with the ball.
And this is a product of Terrence Smith being close enough when he tries to come to the backside. Ball's wobbling, and he takes it away for the big play for the guys in orange.
Welcome back to Albany, and the Empire were in some trouble. Down the touchdown, Washington with the football, and this guy right here, Terrence Smith, comes up with the play. How'd you get it done?
I saw he was running a hitch. I kind of fell off to play the post. I saw him come back down to his second read, which was the hitch on the backside. And I mean, the guy kind of dropped the ball. At first, he didn't catch it clean, so, you know, I just grabbed the ball from him, just came up with a big-time play.
Now, last week we had a scary moment, seeing you on the ground, taken off on a stretcher, taken to a local hospital. I imagine this is extra special to be out here helping your team trying to get to an ArenaBowl.
Sure. I'm just, like I said before when I came here, I'm just thankful that Coach Keith gave me an opportunity. You know, a lot of teams passed on me. They thought I was continuing to be hurt. They had me in a different position. You know, I'm just blessed, man. You know, I want to thank my doctors. I want to give a shout out to my mother, my father, my baby girl, my lady, Nicole. I love y'all.
Nice job out there.
Thank you, Ari.
Hey, guys, great to see him back out there after that scary moment last week.
Grateful young man.
Inspirational story, Terrence Smith. And a terrific play is Grady going for a roll. Malachi Jones. Malachi gets tangled up with Davenport. What do you think, Sid? There's about 10,000 officials ready to lower the boom.
And none of those guys count. And listen, that's hand fight. You see the left arm where Malachi Jones push it off. Svante Davenport staying there on him. I mean, that's a good no call, I think. That's a good job by Michael Griffin. He's under a lot of pressure. These people are all in him. They're on him, but hand fighting, receiver pushing with a little straight arm. DB's got no recourse. He's got to try to grab something. That's a good no call, man. Let him play.
Agreed. Despite the opposition from this great crowd in Albany. Deep drop in the end zone for Grady. Across the middle for Hills. Incomplete. And he was covered tightly by Fred Obie. Obie has been the shadow for Joe Hills.
And this place is about to erupt. They keep waiting for this team to shake loose. And those are tight plays and plays that you're challenging. They're not used to guys staying with them that tight and challenging. That ball's a little high and behind.
Hey, Sid, one thing I can tell you from down here is that in terms of the physicality of the game, Washington has been the more physical team here at field level. It hasn't even been close.
It looks that way, Ari, especially in the secondary.
Grady trying to escape trouble, across his body, and Hills couldn't adjust.
That's one that's got to be picked off. Honestly, you can't allow anybody to roll right and throw all the way back to the other side of the field. Fred Obie kind of gets tangled up and can't find it when he comes out of his break.
That's got to be the hardest throw in football.
Oh, my goodness. That's the one that's a no-no. Absolutely no-no.
And he'll look at that this week and say, what was I thinking? All right, you bring up a good point with physicality. Rob Keefe told us earlier this week he was upset the fact that they were dominated in that department, and he said that they needed to match the physicality of Washington with a big 4th down coming up. 4th and 10 for the Empire. Jones in motion. Grady going deep down the near side. Oh, what a throw to Jordan Williams. Touchdown, Albany. Jordan Williams, a coming out party in the Capital Region. 46 yards.
And I'm giving Tracy Belton the stink eye right now, because I'm like, how do you give that up? You shouldn't be sniffing anywhere around the flags, but get in your back pedal, turn and run. What are you settling for? He's settling to get ready to drive, and he just reads it and just continues on by him. You got to get in your back pedal and go. The guy can run. It's on film that he can run, and he just got you. Toasted. Great throw and catch.
There's a trail left by Williams. And the extra point by Kenny Spencer. It's been an adventure, but he nails it.
4th down. Give up a bomb. Look at Tommy just reload and drop it in the basket.
Fourth downs. Arvell Nelson and Washington. How about this throw to Doug McNeil, fitting it in the tight window.
And again, another 4th down stop for the Valor. Getting Albany off the field just before the half. And here, the long strike to Jordan Williams from Tommy Grady. And all he does, again, I want to see if he can catch a hitch route. Jordan Williams catches touchdowns.
3 touchdowns, 3 catches this year. 2 tonight.
And 107 yards, 407 yards.
That would be 35.6.
That's, how big's this field?
Per game, or per catch. Off the bar, look out. Chris Duval. Good job, stay on his feet. Gets by Spencer, and then he gets planted by Mario Norman at the 16.
Stay outside, make the kicker make the play. Well, this is a good job of getting on it because it's an iron ball. Good concentration right there. That's that lonely feeling when you're up in the air waiting.
Chris Duval, good concentration. As Ari Wolf is going to have offensive coordinator Shane Stafford of the Valor. Ari.
All right, what do we got on 1st down?
Well, hopefully a completion. No, we're gonna run a like a double slam basically.
30 pole right here. The outside guy will widen first and then come in.
Said Nelson escapes and runs into Terrence Moore. That's always a tough job to run into Moore.
Arvell, I mean, he's given up a little bit to Arvell. I mean, T. Moore is 225. They got Arvell listed at 230.
All right, what do we got, Shane?
Just trying to get into a rhythm right now. Going to go 30 hits.
You got stop routes across the board. You got Y down, which is this back motion, and just read it, run the quick stop route.
Short drop by Nelson. Josh Reese carries it past midfield. Arvell has the quick release, which is the recipe for success in arena football. We've seen it for so many years by Dan Rodabaugh in Philadelphia. 2 seconds or less, the ball has to be out.
Even less, yeah, exactly less. I mean, if you're running quick game, you got to get it in there because these DBs.
Basically what we're doing is trying to bring the front side corner in. We got 30 sail X quick out. We're trying to bring the front side corner in to high-low him.
Okay, so they want here and then behind it with the corner out.
Nelson. Oh, Dangerfield, nice catch. Past the 10.
Coach Stafford said, yeah, that's exactly what he wanted.
Reggie's too deep on that, though. He can't take it that deep. It's 30. It's 3-step, not 5.
All right, guys, Reese is coming out of the game. They're bringing McNeil in.
16-yard gain for the Valor.
All right, what do we got?
All right, we're going to run a bubble screen to our little scat man and Reggie, and we're going to block with our big guys.
Reggie Gray scored 17 times this year, 5'10" wideout from Western Illinois.
So you get the two blockers out in front there. Reggie coming with the screen right here.
There it is. Gray at the wall. Good pursuit by Varmasoni. Also Mario Norman coming over to make the tackle. Keep in mind, if Washington what they need to advance is they have to win by 2 or more points. And they do that, they will advance to Arena Bowl 31 next Saturday night on CBS Sports Network at 7.
All right, John, hold on 1 second. What do we got?
We're going to go ahead and basically run a slant. There's a lot more that goes into it than that, but that's pretty much what it is.
Your basic slant, garden variety.
Watch this guy here. Reggie Gray should clear through his motion. It is open.
There it is. Jared Dangerfield with a touchdown. Another simplified pass by Arvell Nelson.
That's the old shield route. It's the old shield. He's going to take his man out and kind of run through the upfield shoulder of this guy. Dangerfield's coming in and inside on the slant. And they make it look easy. Your inside guys just got to clear.
Pat Clark has been erratic, but he hits it. 7-point lead for the Valor with 4:14 left in the third. Arvell Nelson to Jared Dangerfield. Who says he doesn't get any respect? He does there. Benji McDowell, the interim head coach for the Washington Valor, looks on. He's done a terrific job. His resume is an AFL defensive end for 4 years, and he was also a defensive coordinator, and a special teams coordinator with Tampa. That was a couple years ago, and a guy who had a terrific college career at Lenore-Rhine in North Carolina, and a well-traveled career, but I think he's working his way into the discussion, is taking that interim tag off and giving the head job permanently.
Well, you at least have to look at it. I mean, he's done everything that's been asked of him. The guys are competing. They're playing tougher. I think with the addition of Shane Stafford, which is something they didn't have in this program as an O coordinator since their first year. They haven't had a guy to take over offensively. It's been a struggle.
Yeah, they were looking for that stabilization on both sides of the ball that they just didn't have.
Well, they had Steve Tunn, and then that didn't work out, between him and the coach, so they let him go early. They were struggling offensively. They let him go, and sometimes it's a process to put an offense together, just like you've seen with these guys. It took a few weeks before they started getting on the same page, and I give Shane a ton of credit. He's done a great job of just staying the course.
Yep.
And teaching guys that have been playing the game for a while, but he's teaching.
And when we spoke to Arvell Nelson, he said he just made it easier. Everything was simple. Here's Joe Hills. Hills has had a quiet night as he approached the 20. Some extra emphasis on the stop, too, by Washington and Lanford Collins. First down pickup for the Empire. Tommy Grady, 42% completion rate. That was just his 6th completion of the night in 13 attempts. Well, he does have 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, and he's thrown some balls away, and that's okay.
Malachi Jones and Hills have been quiet for the most part. Now Colin Taylor gets in the action past midfield for another first down. He gets stopped by Tracy Belton in his 9th year from UMass.
Keep forcing Albany to be patient. You talk about them, Malachi Jones being quiet, Joe Hills having a modest night so far. You got to keep forcing that issue. Keep them in front of you. Don't fall for the double moves. You know, this is a guy you got to pay attention to, Colin Taylor.
Rushes on, and Grady throws it away.
Taking too long. He doesn't like how long it took Colin
There
to
is
get
a
into that
flag.
route. It's going to be holding.
Bradley Brunette
Holding.
is the
Offense,
referee.
number 93. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
And up front, right here. Yeah, and that's a good sell job by J.R. Collins. And he just throws it. And they're not even going to call intentional grounding on that because that's a choice route. The receiver is supposed to go post corner. If the quarterback's wrong, he's wrong, which he just was wrong there. They will never call that grounding.
And a non-rushing Jake Payne around the edge trying to get by Hayworth Hicks of Albany, the offensive lineman of the year. Deep drop by Grady for Jones. He got it. Malachi Jones, touchdown Empire. They beat Fred Obey. 33 yards. Second touchdown of the night for the receiver of the year.
And Jones just does a nice job, stems right at him, doesn't lean either way, and then sticks his foot in the ground and runs away. And I tell you what, Obey's right there. If he doesn't stumble and trip, he could at least get in the way. But that kid right there, when he plants his left foot in the ground and accelerates out of that cut.
Spencer for the extra point. We got quite a ball game in Albany. Malachi Jones, the rookie from Appalachian State. What a lineage. Brother TJ, a good target for Matthew Stafford and the Lions. And his godfather is Rocket Ishmael. He talks to him often. And Ari Wolf has him downstairs.
All right, Malachi, it's been a great season for you, but this all comes down to this one game, this one moment. Take me through that play and your guys' ability with the deep ball tonight. You guys have had a lot of success.
Yeah, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. So, you know, they like to do a lot of things. They do a lot of things well. So when we see an opening, we got to take full advantage of it. You know, Washington's a great team. We're in a dogfight, so we got to make plays.
We saw you on opening night emerge as a rising star. You end up being the AFL wide receiver of the year. What's this learning process been like, and how much fun have you had this year?
I mean, it's been awesome, man. Dream come true. You know, there's a lot of great receivers in this league that I've had the opportunity to learn from. And to have that honor underneath my belt, man, it's just, you know, so much respect to those guys that taught me all this great stuff, man. So, but it's been a dream season, and we want to finish with a championship.
What's so special about Tommy Grady, and why do you love playing with him?
Man, he's the best, man. I couldn't ask for a better quarterback to play with. I mean, hell, he put the ball right where I needed it. You know, he's making great throws all day, and he's our field general, man. He's going to lead us to victory.
All right, good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, great stuff. Well said by Malachi Jones, right on the money by Tommy Grady. You couldn't throw it better than that.
That was a great throw. We talked about his completion percentage being down, but I'm like, he's being a smart general, getting rid of the ball when he needs to, not taking any extra shots. Can't lead your team if you're on the sideline.
I was just going to ask you about the onside kick possibility, but here's Washington tracking it down at their 24-yard line. It's Doug McNeil.
And again, another kick that really didn't have a chance.
Game trends, Albany still with 7 penalties, none for Washington. Albany offense has struggled throughout, but it's a tie ball game, and in the aggregate, Albany leads 90-89. In the waning seconds of the third quarter, Chris Duvall will be the man in high motion. Pump fake by Nelson, and it's batted away. Good job by Darrell Cato Bishop. 6'4" defensive lineman from NC State. And that's going to be your final play of the third quarter. Should be a pulsating fourth from the Capital Region ArenaBowl 31 bid on the line. Will it be Albany or will it be Washington? Find out next. It's been a thriller in Albany. Tie game 33-33. 90-89 overall in the two-game series. So if it is a tie, it will be Albany hosting the ArenaBowl next Saturday. But the quarterback comparison, Tommy Grady and Arvell Nelson both playing good games, and Nelson scampering on the ground.
Just keeping him in the ball game, giving him a chance. And you know, the one interception that was a botched catch, should have been a catch and completion in the red zone. But he's just got to continue to play. Tommy Grady looks as poised as ever, even though he's been under duress at times.
Dangerfield's got it. And with a flag thrown from behind. Initial indication is a hold. Could be against Doug McNeil up the alley. And might be number 1 of the night on Washington.
Holding offense, number 18. 10-yard penalty, second down.
It's the only misfire of the night for Doug McNeil.
This is tough right here. He's going to come down in motion, and he's trying to set the edge. But right there, he gets too far in front. He's in control of that. Didn't need to even hook his arm there. That's a bad job by him, technique-wise. Wasn't a hold, but when they see that arm around the body, they're going to make that call all the time.
So the ball on the 15 for Nelson in the deep drop. Slings it. Duvault uses the boards to his advantage and gets dropped at the 16 of Albany. First down and more for Chris Duvault. Mario Norman on the tackle. Duvault, 5'11", 180 pounds from Illinois. Dangerous in the open field.
That's because he's extremely quick, but he's untouched going into the wall. And heads up, he comes right off. Tries to tack on a few more yards. You're untouched, you're a live player. You'd have to give yourself up if you wanted to by putting the ball over the wall.
20-yard gain for Chris Duvault. Just like that, Washington back in Albany territory. Nelson upended at the 11. Terrence Moore, the spy, the Jack linebacker. Terrence Moore has been a bastion of consistency since they kicked off the season at the Times Union Center. He's done nothing wrong.
He's been outstanding. Created a ton of turnovers. Guys that's affected the game. See his regular season numbers. Leads the AFL in interceptions at the Jack linebacker spot. But he has played with a vengeance and an energy this season that I haven't seen from him in a while.
Nelson will take off, and he runs into Moore, who drags him down again at the 6. About a 6-yard gain for Arvell Nelson on 2nd and 7. Well, they say it's 3rd down and 2. What's in your bag of tricks if you're Shane Stafford on 3rd and 2?
He's got a lot of things at his disposal. One thing you got to do here, you just talked about Terrence Moore. You got to not allow him to affect the game here. We haven't seen any specials or tight end screens or releases, delays by the fullback.
And Reggie Gray's been quiet. He's in motion. Nelson trying to take off. Maybe got a yard, if that. Wes Mawia got him from behind along with Joe Sykes.
I'd like to see that spot. Because where is the ball when his knee goes down? Watch his knees. He's on his backside, butt's down. No, nothing's down. He's on top of players, but his elbow is down underneath. His elbow is down underneath. That's a good call.
Yep. That's why it's 4th and 1. And what a play. Play of the game. With 11:15 left in the 4th.
First down.
You got it. They move the chain. First down, Washington. The composure by the Valor all night has been a sign of their maturation as a team, their development, their confidence.
It's a sign of this guy right here. And you can go ahead and say his name.
Shane Stafford, offensive coordinator.
And Benji McDowell giving him the reins, allowing him to work and operate and help get these guys ready. And don't forget, Nick Davila is still in the building helping as well. So they've got some great minds helping out, trying to get this thing right.
Nick Davila, a horrific injury early in the season. Great to see him in the building tonight. And it's caught for a touchdown. Doug McNeil. He has been a nightmare for the Empire secondary. His third touchdown of the evening. And this back and forth game now in favor of the Valor.
This is a great throw. Watch the size of this window. And he shoots it in there. And if Terrence Moore, you're in a bind there. You can't take off because you got to make sure Arbel's not going to run the ball. So you have to hold almost old school Jack linebacker play style. Stay in there.
Pick your poison.
And man, great throw.
Big extra point again for Pat Clark. Got it. Heck of a ball game. Game 2 of the series. Arvell Nelson to his sudden favorite target, Doug McNeil. Washington leading Albany 40-33. Doug McNeil. You see him on your screen, number 18 in white with 3 touchdowns, 7 this season, just his 3rd game of the year. Arvell Nelson told us this week that he would target him frequently, and he has. As Washington is dominated in time of possession, they've had the ball more than 11 minutes, more than the Albany Empire. Clark with a high kick off the bar. Look out. Oh my goodness. A fight for the ball.
And they got it.
And they did get it.
Guess who? Guess who?
Doug McNeil.
I'm not good enough for your team?
Oh
my goodness, he is having that moment. This is a great kick from Pat Clark. This thing almost goes over the iron, but there they see the bounce. Carr blocks him, and it just comes right to him.
When it's your night, it's your night.
You're absolutely right. Now, this is, if you're Albany right here, you have got to step up defensively. You've got the #1 defense. At times in this season, during this season, your defense has played lights out. You need your stars to play well. You need to hear from this guy, Joe Sykes, best lineman. You need to hear from Cato Bishop. Cisse needs to get some pressure. Summers. On the back end, Sony's got to lock it up, and Terrence Moore has got to find a way to affect the game once more like he's done all season.
Game of possessions, 39 plays for Washington, 20 for Albany. To the end zone. What an effort. Do they bring it down? No, they don't. Good try, though, by Chris Duval, who got nailed on the near side in the corner of the end zone.
It's a really good throw. Lands awkwardly.
As Duval is sprawled, clutching his shoulder. Benji McDowell and Shane Stafford look on, and that's going to send us to a timeout. But what a valiant effort by the Valor, who lead by 7 in Albany. Well, good news for Chris Duval. At least momentarily, he is up off his feet after a scary moment in the corner when he was the intended receiver on a touchdown toss by Arvell Nelson, and it looks like a shoulder problem for Duval. What a heroic effort he made to go up for it, said.
Yeah, he attacked this play. And you can see right immediately it happens in the corner, and his shoulder kind of goes limp on him.
Ari Wolf with the latest on Duval.
Hey guys, I was down here. I talked to the Albany team doctor. He thinks that the shoulder popped out and subluxated. I can tell by the pain that Duval is in that the shoulder is still not back in. I think it's still out of the socket. They're going to take it back to the locker room, and I'll keep you updated as I learn more.
All right, thanks, Ari.
Ari's a guy that had to deal with some shoulder issues a couple years ago.
Let me tell you something. When your shoulder's popped out, you can't hear or see anything. It's so painful, and that looks like the same look I saw in Duval's face.
Man, I can only imagine. So Washington, the upstart Valor, trying to stun the Empire with a 7-point lead, and add some more after the barred ball was recovered by Doug McNeil moments ago. Here comes Jared Dangerfield in motion. Nelson, and incomplete for Josh Reese. Nelson got harassed by the guy you were calling to step up for more pressure. Joe Sykes.
He had to step up in there, and I think they wanted a close set on that. Dangerfield was lined up too wide on the outside. Shane Stafford was trying to get Arvell to change it, but the motion man never checked with his quarterback before he took off.
3rd down and 10. Washington on 3rd down, 0 for 4. McNeil, Reese, and Dangerfield are the receivers. And Duvault out of the mix. Nelson for Dangerfield, and flagged.
That's going to be offensive.
Yep. Varmasoni got pushed down by Jared Dangerfield.
And there's no reason for it, but
Pass interference, offense, number 9. That penalty has been declined. 4th down.
And this is a good call. You don't need to chase him down into the back of the end zone. Just stick your foot in the ground and go.
Hey, Sid, I mean, you consider taking a chance at a 3 here? Yeah. Considering the aggregate score, you'd go up by 2 scores.
You would, and it's a little more than an extra point. However, with what's gone on with their kicking game, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I would agree with that too, Ari. And Washington's had good success on 4th down. They're 3 for 3.
Play clock down to 8, 7.
Nelson's going to hurry. End zone for McNeil, and batted away by Terrence Smith. Good deflection by the rangy Smith. And Albany's got the crowd back in it. Phenomenal defensive stand, and will that be the momentum lift they need as they trail by 7 in the 2nd game of the playoffs in the Arena Football League. Washington with a 40-33 lead over the Empire with 6:53 left of the 4th quarter, and next Saturday it all comes down to this. ArenaBowl 31, Baltimore going head-to-head, tonight's winner for this year's title. See who goes home a champion right here on CBS Sports Network. It's been a fun ride throughout the year, said, in this 4-team round robin in the new Arena Football League. And hopefully some great things to come on the horizon.
It's been competitive. A lot of tough games, some talented teams.
Every time you talk to Ron Jaworski and John Adams, the brain trust for Albany and Philadelphia, they're so excited about the future of this league. There's Grady, scans, and good catch by Colin Taylor. He paid for it at the 14. Belton with the stop, but nice adjustment by Taylor to bring it down.
Joe Hills doesn't look right to me when he's running right now. Looks like his gait's a little messed up, and not sure what's ailing him, but he ran that route and looked like quarter speed.
Hey guys, I saw him earlier. He was on the bike in the back. There's definitely something wrong. Even when he's walking back here, it's not his normal gait at all. Something's going on with his right leg is what he was working on, trying to keep it warm.
Thanks, Ari. And flags. Procedure.
Colin.
False start, offense, number 11. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Colin Taylor understated this year with 36 catches and 9 touchdowns. Big year last year with Cleveland. One of the more sure-handed receivers in the league. And that's an uncharacteristic mistake.
He's extremely intelligent. Bright player. Very smart guy you need on the field, and can still go make plays for you when you need him to.
2nd and 11. Malachi Jones in motion. Here comes the pressure. Grady unleashes for Jones. Davenport up for it. Fonte Davenport with the interception in the end zone. Wow. Valor football. How do you like that?
Got a young man brought back for this game. Was on the roster earlier in the year, had an interception. Gets another one here in a huge spot. Giving Jones an opportunity to go downtown, and he stays stride for stride. Wants a switch to roll out and up, and he runs the route. Keeps great inside position and goes up and finishes. He ran that route for Malachi Jones. As soon as they turned upfield, he turned his head and stayed right with him, stride for stride. And a great, great play. Just when the Valor needed it to happen.
Textbook coverage by Davenport. So the ball at their 5. Nelson, the quick hit to Jared Dangerfield, who gets hit up the rails. Starting to get a little chippy as well. Dangerfield's one of those guys, he feeds off of it now. They're feeding off confidence. They're feeding off the fact that they're 4-16 away from stunning Albany.
2-win team, and who would have thought? Who would have thought it? Besides them, after last week, a lot of other people said there's a chance, but could they come out and perform and stay consistent long enough to give themselves an opportunity in this environment?
Coming into this
to win.
The best environment in arena football. And McNeil with it.
Just taking the hot route. A little looky, giving it to him early. Keeps the clock moving. It's completion. Everything's rolling. And very efficient numbers. The one INT really wasn't his fault.
No, it wasn't.
A tip ball that got intercepted. And when he's needed to, he's found ways to come back and make a play.
And he told Ari Wolf at halftime, we're ready to shock the world. We know we can do it. Reese with a screen. Goes up the far side for a host of orange jerseys meet him. Led by Terrence Smith, who's been
just 30 block
linchpin presence.
Yep. 3rd and 6, very manageable.
Yep.
This may be somewhere in a 3rd and 6 situation, especially in a game where they think you're trying to run clock and maybe trying to get a first down here. I may be tempted as a play caller to run a double move off a stop and go, like a hitch and go, right at the sticks.
We'll see what Shane Stafford has dialed up.
That's an easy
Looking
one.
near side, he's got him. Touchdown! There you have it. Good call, Seth Bonner. Touchdown, Valor and Josh Reese. Washington 46, Empire 33. 30-yard touchdown toss by Arvell Nelson.
You've got to have special guys to be able to play at this level on the line of scrimmage. Watch Reese set his motion up. Speed release outside, and that makes it easy right there. He gets right back on top of Sony, so he can't undercut the route. Beautiful throw and finish by Josh Reese and Arvell Nelson. I mean, he's been much maligned in the playoffs for his play and carelessness with the ball and yada, yada, yada. That boy has stepped up tonight. He stepped up last week. He is getting it done.
I love the Seinfeldian line. And Clark adds the extra point.
So guys, you guys are going to love this. So they come over here, they're celebrating. I'm by the Washington bench, and I said to Arvell, I was like, wow, that is a gutsy play call. And he said, that was my play call. You got to love it there, like the confidence, because they had everybody up there pressing, and they said their guy, all you got to do is make one guy miss.
That's it.
Easy pitch and catch. They said they were going to shock the world. They told me before the game, they told me at halftime, and they're certainly making me a believer right now.
82 seconds away. Our interception set it up. Davenport. Stride for stride coverage with Malachi Jones. And the touchdown moments ago. Arvell Nelson to Josh Reese. And many of the fans have exited the Times Union Center.
Where are they going?
I think they're disgruntled.
Where are they going? This is arena football. There is
it's only two-score game.
Two-score game.
Going?
3 timeouts left.
I'm with you.
Sit down.
AFL standings. Washington, regular season, 2 wins. Albany, 8 wins. Add it all up, this would be a monumental upset.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
See, you're playing along with me?
I see what you did.
Thank you. Pat Clark. Still plenty of time. Jordan Williams off the net. Small seam. And he gets tackled at the 7. Reese makes the stop along with O'Shea Dunmore.
And key for the Valor right now is you have got to force a long drive here. Force them to waste some of their timeouts on offense. Force them to waste time on offense. Got to make them take their time. You cannot, under any circumstances here, if you're Washington, try to jump around and get beat deep.
Yep. Jordan Williams is in motion. Grady's aiming for him, and a flag at the 5-yard line. It's going to be pass interference.
That's the right call.
Against
you be upset. Compose yourself.
Yep.
You head whipped and ran into him before the ball got there. You're playing the ball, but you contacted him.
Defense, number 15. 10-yard penalty. First down.
It's a good call.
We got the 1-minute warning.
Tough break. He tries to head whip in, but you see the contact. He's actually running to get the ball, but he does bump him. And that's a call. That's a pass interference. It's a good call.
Yep. So the 1-minute warning hits Albany. Will it be a thrilling finish? The Valor up by 2 touchdowns. A tick under 1 minute remaining. Washington leading Albany by 14 points with Seb Bonner. I'm Jami DePerel. Ari Wolf on the sideline. Our producer Adam Coppinger, an outstanding crew. Hope you've enjoyed it on CBS Sports Network. Great to have you with us. And don't forget ArenaBowl 31 next Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Baltimore, we know, is in the ArenaBowl. Jordan Williams, the man in motion. Tommy Grady to Malachi Jones, an athletic catch at midfield. Tracy Belton brings him down.
Clock's running here.
9-yard gain. Grady goes the short route to Williams. And we have a late flag. As J.R. Collins gets thrown down. Maybe
if he gets an
active job on that one.
If he gets a roughing the passer call on this.
Hey guys, just one quick thing. If you notice, Joe Hills is not really running any routes down the field at this point. He's just a decoy. So that's a huge factor in this.
Big loss.
Roughing the passer. Defense, number 45. Half the distance from the end of the run. First down.
It's actually 42, J.R. Collins. But you can't get a roughing the passer call.
Wasn't that roughing the passer?
That's late. The ball's gone, and then he picked him up and drove him. It wasn't like he just hit him. If he just hits him, they might not call him, but he picked him up and drove him.
I don't like that call, Sid.
You can't pick him up by the legs and drive him into the ground.
If we can get another look at that, we'll revisit it. But that, to me, with 40 seconds left in the game, the officials are deciding the outcome of the game. Possible.
Make the call.
Hills this time comes in motion. Grady.
Off the net.
You can play it.
Are you guys serious? I mean,
they're walking.
The coaching me's coming out.
The
Coaching me's coming out. Finish the play. That ball's clearly going off the net. We could see it from 150 yards away.
That was strategic
It's
by
coming
Grady.
up, but it's not strategic. The one thing you never do in the end zone is throw the ball off the net because you never know where it's going to go. You never do that. There's none of his receivers there. The only people there to have a chance to make that play is the people in the secondary.
Right.
But they stopped.
Well, 30.6 seconds remaining. You see the aggregate. Washington up by 13. Another flag as Grady throws it to the back of the end zone. Hold is the initial call.
It's a good call, but you don't have to hold him. He's hurt. Are you not watching him run routes? He's hurt.
Referring to Joe Hills.
So there's no reason to hold. Just play defense.
That's why the 1-minute warning becomes such a complexity for teams.
Holding defense, number 24. Half a distance to goal, first down.
Davenport call for the penalty.
Time back on the clock. Please reset the game clock to 30.2 seconds.
Look at this guy right here on Joe Hills in motion. And Joe's trying to swim him. And then Joe stumbles. He can't stop.
Again, was that a hold? This is what I don't like when officials in the last minute of the game get flagged.
However, don't pile drive a quarterback.
Well,
play smart football.
I'll give you that one upon further review.
Play smart.
Here we go, Grady. To the screen to Jones and a touchdown, a walk-in score. Malachi Jones, another one. So Albany signs of some life. It's going to be a big extra point attempt by Kenny Spencer.
Watch the bubble from number 7. Takes it outside. Good outside release from Joe Hills. Takes 2 with him. Easy pitch and catch, and it's not like that route hasn't been run before. You got to recognize it and see it.
Malachi Jones' 3rd touchdown of the game. Spencer nails it. Covered onside kick and a touchdown and an extra point for Albany. There's your formula. They win.
That is
tie game. They win.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we'll be +1, right?
Hey guys, it was quite a sequence just happened here at the scorer's table. So Shane Stafford had noticed that several times Rob Keefe had come over, and it seemed as though Rob Keefe was coaching these guys on how to work the clock. So then Shane Stafford came over and they exchanged words, just giving you a feel of how hostile it is. And these guys are not very far apart. I'm right here at the scorer's table, and you could feel the tension as both coaches trying to make sure that their teams get a fair shake here at the end.
Well, as you know, Ari, you should not be talking to the scorer's table if you're the head coach. You can talk to the officials, but you shouldn't be over there with the scorer's table.
Well, and that's what happened, and Shane Stafford didn't like it. And he went over there and got involved, and it did stop Rob Keefe from talking to him, so it was effective.
Well, whatever it takes from a gamesmanship perspective, guys, is...
Well, this is critical here. 3 timeouts left.
Yep.
Washington has their full complement as well. But that's why I don't like giving up the long ball on the first play or not being ready for that. You didn't make them run any time.
Penalty called on Fred Obi.
Penalty on Obi. Penalty down on Savante Davenport. Roughing the passer penalty. I would stay ready on this left side here.
3 penalties on the drive as Spencer will attempt the onside kick. High in the air, McNeil in the territory.
They got it.
My goodness, Albany dives for it. They got it. Albany comes up with a loose ball.
That's why you can handle Keith Brown, the wily veteran, makes the play. This is why you can handle Kenny Spencer occasionally missing some kicks. Extra points. Look at that thing. Goes to the roof. Somebody's got to step in front and block the first man.
It was Going to McNeil.
Terrence Moore goes up and takes it. And no shot for McNeil. He's vulnerable out there.
Yeah, Moore gave him a shot. To Moore's credit. And Albany with more momentum. That's why we questioned moments ago why fans were leaving. Albany with a touchdown and an extra point. They will win and advance to ArenaBowl 31. Malachi Jones trying to pull it down. They say he did. And he fights after the play with Tracy Belton.
Well, Tracy Belton was trying to rip the ball out of his hands over the wall. Tommy almost lets this one get away from him. Ball way up there. He has to go up to make the catch. And you see Belton right there trying to strip it out of his hands. Good job by the official getting up on the wall, seeing the catch.
Heck of a catch by Malachi Jones. His 5th of the night. 14-yard gain. He's approaching 100 yards. He has 97 and the 3 scores. Spectacular offensive player. Brady with some pressure. Look out to the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Hills with Obi in coverage.
That's good coverage. Pocket was collapsing. He didn't have time to wait.
What do you think Les Moss is dialing up, the Empire offensive coordinator?
Well, he's got a guy that's can't really run right now. Maybe some kind of route. Maybe give Jordan Williams a shot. Maybe from a dead set situation where you got a guy pressing him. Look, he's singled up on the backside right now with Tracy Belton. He's beaten him already.
Hills is in motion. He started early, and there's going to be a flag.
High motion man, number 81, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Hey guys, why can't they take the 10-second runoff here?
That's what I was.
Yeah, why isn't that happening? It should go down to 5.5.
It's a good question, Ari.
Everyone's marking. Where's the 10-second runoff?
Well, they have to elect to take it.
Well, I can tell you their entire bench is electing to take it.
Well, Benji is the head coach on the field.
Hills only 1 reception in the 2nd half. Grady aims for the end zone. Jones broken up. Fred Obi breaks it up, intended for Malachi Jones.
That play only took 5 seconds, or 4.2 seconds.
What a close by Obi.
It's a great finish because he's beaten, but he has enough space and he's balanced enough to come downhill to punch it out.
Obi, the reigning defensive player of the week with 10 tackles last week and an interception in D.C. 10.8 to play. So their first time out for the Albany Empire with a 3rd and 20 upcoming. Our bracket with Baltimore advancing. And they'll play the winner of Washington-Albany. Keep in mind, if Albany scores, all they need is an extra point to tie the game, and they will advance. If there's a tie aggregate-wise, the game goes into overtime. But 10 heart-wrenching moments. 10 heart-wrenching seconds, rather. On 3rd down and 20 upcoming. The fans that have stayed have enjoyed a final surge by the Empire. Hill's the man in high motion. Grady looking the short route and out of bounds.
Jordan Williams has to read that and get around the Jack linebacker, give Tommy somewhere to get the ball to. But you're expecting this guy right here to read the Jack linebacker. As he comes over there, you've got to get around him to the middle of the field. Watch how it plays out. You've got help from the backside, and he's got to find some way. Look at the middle of the field is wide open. That's probably a catch and score if he can get around. But young players still trying to learn. That's a play that a guy like Colin Taylor understands fully and would make the right play.
It's tough to learn, especially for Williams, who was a converted defensive back.
But you're also in a moment you're trying to go to the championship game.
You're right. There's so much on the line.
I got to have a vet in there that understands the box and where the Jack is.
Left trips tight, Z back. You're running the wheel outside.
He's running the wheel.
You're running the wheel, but you're going outside the numbers. Last play, last play.
4th and 20 for Albany. Les Moss.
And they're going to get Jordan Williams on the wheel route up the sideline. And listen, I'm sitting on the sticks. There's no reason to be in front of 20 yards. I don't care if you see it. I'm going to sit level across the field just in front of the sticks. There's no reason to be on different levels. Back up. Get out of there.
Here it comes. Williams in motion. Your play of the ball game. Grady fires for Jones. Spinning past the 15 with a flag. And tackle at the 11. With no time remaining. There is a flag down.
They're blocking downfield. That's over.
Bradley Burnett trying to sort it out, the referee.
Pass interference, offense, number 18. That penalty has been declined. That is the end of the game.
Wow. And the Washington Valor have stunned the top seed, Albany Empire. Washington moves on to ArenaBowl 31. An incredible effort by James Gordon and company, and that man Arvell Nelson, the player of the game.
Wow. Amazing. I mean, amazing. 2 wins in the regular season.
Well, I think they knew they had him last week, Seven.
They let him get away last week. They let it almost get away tonight.
Correct. But they knew they had that confidence. They had that physicality. They knew that they could dominate them at times at the line of scrimmage just by playing harder at times.
And they did. They made all the right plays at the right times. And Arvell Nelson, man, you can't even put into words to watch him come back from some of the problems he's had against Philadelphia in the playoffs and some of these other teams in the playoffs where he's had opportunities to move on to the ArenaBowl but haven't been able to finish. Phenomenal.
Let's go to Ari with Arvell Nelson.
Arvell, you told me before the game you guys were going to get this done. Huge upset. How'd you guys do it?
Staying patient and poised. Them boys stay patient and poised. They believe. It's arena football, man. It's never over, like as we can see. And the boys stay patient. They kept playing, balls to the wall, and we came out with a victory.
Now, you told me that you got to get late in the game. You got to put the pressure on them. You guys were able to hang around. And how about your defense coming up with some big plays?
Yeah, man, they've been playing huge these past few weeks, man. And all respect to Albany, man. Them boys are great. They got some great talent. The boys played their butt off, and we're going to the ArenaBowl, man.
Going to the ArenaBowl, your first thoughts about taking on Baltimore in ArenaBowl 31?
Man, I'm just happy to be here, man. Thank God for the opportunity to do what we love, get paid to do what we love, man, and we're going to the ArenaBowl, man. So,
it's awesome. Congrats.
Thank you, man.
All right. Guys, that's a heck of a performance from Arvell Nelson, and they truly shocked the world.
Yes, they did, Ari. The Beltway rivalry will resume next Saturday night, Baltimore and Washington in ArenaBowl 31. We'll be back after this with more from Albany on CBS Sports Network. The celebration is raging in the Valor locker room. James Gordon, he can't get enough of it right now. And downstairs we have Ari Wolf with the victorious Valor coach Benji McDowell.
Coach, you guys had a lot of adversity this year. You dealt with all of it. How did you convince your guys that they could come away with the victory, beat Albany, and get into the ArenaBowl?
I mean, I don't think these guys needed too much convincing at all. It's just about getting everything to line up, taking advantage of opportunities. You know, once we got AFL in, we felt like we had a pretty good quarterback that could help us get to this point, and that's what happened. We put some pieces together, and these guys just believe in each other. You know, they're a tight-knit group of guys. You know, when everybody thought that last week was a fluke for those guys, in their mind, they thought it was a fluke that we didn't win that game. And so they went all week upset, just like me. But we got one more to do. You know, Baltimore is a hard place to play in. They got a coaching staff with a whole lot of rings, so they got that experience. But at the same time, it's going to be just, you know, the atmosphere is going to be just like when we play every other time.
Coach, one of the things I was most impressed with throughout the game was how physical your team was. It seemed that you guys won the battle of physicality. Did you talk about that a lot this week, about bringing that physical nature to the game?
Yeah, I mean, that's our mindset. Once I got the opportunity to take over, we want to be more physical. You know, that was always our mindset. But, you know, as the season went on, you know, we continue to practice hard. When people's taking time off, we continue to practice hard. And these guys know that. These guys know that they're a tough bunch of, you know, tough group. But being physical is probably one of our staples, especially up front, D-line and offensive line, and then it just goes on to our DBs and our receivers as well.
You mentioned Arvell. He's an incredible player. We all know that. But there's something about his confidence and his swagger that really seemed to affect his teammates.
Yeah. I mean, that's a guy that has been drugged through a lot of different situations in this league. You know, and, you know, as far as playing jack, not getting to play quarterback. And, you know, when I talked to him, I said, hey, I'm going to give you an opportunity. I either played or coached against every quarterback in this league, and I felt like he was just as good, if not better, than some of those guys with the different things that he does. When he's playing well, he's one of the better guys in this league, and we just got to keep that up. That guy, I love that guy. He's a worker. He just wants to get better.
He certainly is charismatic. Well, Coach, congratulations. We'll see you in ArenaBowl 31.
Appreciate it.
Great job, Coach.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
All right, guys.
All right, thanks very much, Ari. Great job by Benji McDowell and company. Arvell Nelson was phenomenal, said Bonner. He accounted for 260 of their 273 yards.
Kept answering the bell. I mean, literally continued to answer the bell. Made a few plays with his legs, but just a quick strikes like that. Big time play here, over the top on 4th down. They convert with a score, but wow.
How about Washington and Baltimore?
Monumental occasion.
There you go. Next Saturday night, it should be special on CBS Sports Network. It was a terrific one here as Albany gets stunned by the Valor. For Seth Bonner, Ari Wolf, and our entire crew, I'm Jamina Perrell. The AFL playoffs come to a conclusion next Saturday. Baltimore takes on Washington in ArenaBowl 31 at 7 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Good night from Albany.